Okay. This one is really, really cool. And if you get anything today out of YouTube, this one is going to be changer for you in your life. So what do I mean? We're discussing about limitation, border, a fence line, whatever it is in your life. Now, you know people in your life that you can see their border, their fence line, their parameter very clearly. Maybe they always talking about, I ain't got enough money, right? We go out to lunch or dinner and they want you to pay, right? Because they ain't got it. And you're kind of like, okay, well, we'll pay. Whatever it might be, whether it's money, or you might have other friends that, I can't find a good mate. They're all like this. They all operate that way, right? But you look out around you and you're like, gosh, there's a lot of people who have mates, and they seem to be doing okay. Well, anyway, how do we know that we have a border, a limitation, a fence line? It's so easy for us to see it in other people, but we can't see it in ourselves, right? So this is something that the wonderful philosopher Liz Larson came up with, and that is a simple way for us to know about our borders. What is that? And that is we get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Simply get uncomfortable. Liz?
Yeah. So let's back up just a little bit. This is my favorite one in the list. It really is. It's become my favorite thing to do, is notice how uncomfortable I am. I decided one day I'm not going to put up with my own crap. And my own crap is feeling uncomfortable. But let's talk about universe building in the first place. What's a border? What's a limitation? What's a rule? It's not like somebody else put the rules on you. It's exactly like the rules in Guardian of the Galaxy. In Guardian of the Galaxy, you can be a raccoon with a human personality. Or you can be a guy who whistles and a thing, goes around and blows somebody else up, right? In Guardians of the Galaxy, in that universe, they fly in spaceships, all over the place. So those are the rules, the boundary of that universe. Harry Potter, they play Quidditch, they fly on a broom, right? Kids are muggles, normal people, or they go to wizard school. Those are limitations or boundaries in a universe, right? What I realized for myself, and Bill, this is, I did this for myself first. I realized if I'm creating my own universe, it's exactly the same. I have my own parameters built into my little universe, the Harry Potter that I wrote about my life. And I recognized that I would start to bump up against one of the borders of my universe when I got real uncomfortable. So let's say, at one point I wanted to write, the Cognomovement book, Suffering is Optional. And when I thought about that, I thought, oh man, that's going to be so much work and it's going to take forever. Well, that was a rule I made up in my universe. I wrote it in. And when I started to write the book, I felt real uncomfortable about it. Well, then I know to do my Cognomovement ball and I collapse the wave of that pattern. So I know how it feels in my body, the discomfort. It feels like wearing pants that are too tight. Everybody's done that. You know what that feels like? It's constrictive, like, gives you a wedgie. Like, that's how you feel. Feel kind of like, I just doesn't quite fit. So I collapse the wave using Cognomovement and get that pattern out of my body. So I no longer feel like my pants are too tight. I no longer feel a constriction. I no longer feel sort of that electric fence of my own border zapping the crap out of me. So then what happens? I collapse it. I collapse that perspective that it's too hard. It's not. And what opens is a whole realm of possibilities. Right? So when it actually came to get that book done, it happened so fast. And then I got help. And then you know what happened, Bill? Somebody out there that I've never met on the planet made an edit of it that's so much better. and sent it to us for free and just said, here, look at this. I think that, I mean, who could imagine such a thing, right? But what happened is I came up against some discomfort. Well, now when I am uncomfortable, I get excited that I can change that wave and know that this whole realm of things is going to be open to me here in just a minute. So it's not a chore to feel uncomfortable. It's not a chore to change it. It's actually the most exciting thing. And then you choose the reality that works best or feels best and move forward. Just by feeling great. Like, so here's what happens for me, Bill. I get uncomfortable, and I get uncomfortable a lot, kind of salty. And I get excited and change the thing, collapse the wave. I no longer feel uncomfortable. I feel neutral. And then this whole bunch of ideas open in my brain. Ding, 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 all over the place. Well, if you could see me, I get this little wry smile on my face and I think, oh, whoa, look at that one. I never even thought of that. I could never have seen it because it wasn't in the parameters of my little novel that I wrote about my own life, right? Wasn't in my rule book. There was an electric fence. So now it's wide open and it's so exciting because I know I get to choose that one or that one or that one, right? So it really becomes lots of fun. But this is also a rule in my list. You do have to know when you're coming up against your own fence, your own boundary, right?
Right. Right. And I love the way you put that, that for you, it has flipped in that there's something exciting and interesting about when this uncomfortable feeling comes. And as I've said before, it's an opportunity, but you're actually doing it. You are excited because it is opportunity. I have found the opportunity, right? So this is a kind of a major shift. Imagine for a second, if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, as you go through your day, and we all do this, right? We get very uncomfortable. We're worried, we're stressed, we're upset. And imagine if every time that came up, you're like, oh, opportunity. I can actually shift my reality. That'd be different.
We figured out a while ago that we are creating the fence lines of our own life through our core feeling, the way we feel most of the time. It kind of reminds me of this, Bill. Lives have flavors, right? The flavor of somebody's life. You can see them like they are a rotten tomato all the way, cranky. They're going to make you be sick in some way or another, right? Or you've got over here the sweet sugary candy, right? That has a flavor, just so sweet and lovely. And the experience you're going to have when you come in contact. Well, each of us have that too. Our life has kind of a flavor. And if your life feels a little bit sour, or like it's turning on you, you can change that flavor. You can change that culture by recognizing it. And that's the first thing. We usually think that somebody from the outside is creating that problem, when really it's just our flavor. It's what our nervous system, in our vernacular Cognomovement, we talk about the nervous system really creating our reality. It's the subconscious that interacts with everything else around us. It's how we think, it's how we feel, it's how we touch, it's how we taste, it's how we experience reality. Well, if we can change that internal driver in the body, we can change the flavor of the life. We can change how we experience reality. So for us, we know that is what's setting up that fence line, that flavor, that reality, and we can collapse it and change it right now. We've done it as a group, our Cognomovement team. And we've shared this before where we had something we really wanted, something that meant a lot to us. but the rules of the corporation we were dealing with, it was against the rules. It wasn't in their policies. So we felt uncomfortable. We felt, man, that doesn't work for us. So we all went away and we did a Cognomovement session to collapse our feeling around it. We realized we'd all bumped up against a border, a limitation, and through our perspective, because we knew it was our perspective, we knew we could change it. So we came back all together just a short time later. And, dang it, if the rules of that corporation didn't change instantly, that's the kind of thing we're talking about. In that moment, we changed the flavor of our experience from, a little sour turning on us to, a cotton colored rainbow candy, right? A bag of Skittles. And everybody else can do it too, but you've got to have this understanding that you're creating your own boundaries. And it's really through how you feel about things. And once you understand that, you can change how you feel about things very, very quickly with a tool like Cognomovement. You can change your reality just as easily. So you guys, if you want to get in on this conversation, please comment on this video. Would love to hear what you have to say about this. Let us know if you have changed your reality. Like this and subscribe if you will. It really helps you get this information more readily and other people too. But we'd love to hear from you. And we'll continue on the list very soon again and help you expand how to change reality only every time that you want to.